the Spellcasting series. Now, these games were released from 1990 to 1992, published by Legend Entertainment. And you could tell by the way it was numbered, by how it was named or numbered, that it was a college themed game. Loosely college themed game, I should say. But it would definitely appeal to the target demographic, which was the blossoming computer game community as computer games got more and more sophisticated. At least at the time of the 90s, this 1990, 1992, we hadn't even reached on computers epic gameplay like this, like we have today. And this would have been 4 games, because there are technically 4 years to regular college. And ironically enough, I didn't play these games until I got to college, because I got all of my Legend games, which includes Eric the Unready, which you've heard me talk about before, as a set of 8 games. That marked the high points of Legend Entertainment. And you can tell that these games were also inspired by college themed humor, possibly college movies from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Think of it as Revenge of the Nerds meets Harry Potter, if you want to look at it that way, even though Harry Potter came years after this. I'm pretty sure it came years after this. I'm going to have to look that up. Because, yeah, these games were about 9 years, but about 7 years before Harry Potter came out. And as you could tell, it does focus on a very nerdy character. And there's something that the nerds out there could relate to. I mean, Ernie has a crush on uh, the lovely girl next door, Lola Tiger Lily or Tiger Belly or whatever. I forget her last name. She's that girl he he lusts after, but never seems to get. Not that it's ever, worth anything. And he has the evil stepfather, Joey Rottenwood. And the fact that these two characters are distinctly named means that they play some part in the stories that these games are. We also find out that there is some sort of prophecy. There's a prophecy in almost every game, I think, that somehow relates to Ernie being key or something to the events that are going to happen. And so, we are focusing on basically Ernie getting to a college and improving his skills to be a sorcerer. This game is also the product of great computer mind. Now I'm just. And his name is, of course, eluding me right now. Ah, yes. Steve Maritsky. Maritsky. I hope I said his name right. And this guy, he's designed some classic games, and especially in the interactive fiction, and he's been part of several, one of which is The Leather Goddess of Phobos, which is also a game that has a naughty and nice mode. Pardon. So, let us face it. You knew the humor was going to be in there. Typical of college humor stuff, there is some crazy antics in all of these games. And because you can play it in naughty or nice mode, uh, you can do some stuff you really couldn't. Not that there's anything explicitly shown. They do tantalize you with images of good looking women, scantily clad. Nothing, no nudes in this game. But a lot of suggestive stuff. Of course, that's what makes the game fun, I think. Well, that adds to the fun of the game. You want to entice but not give it. Now, each game is set in a different year of college. This is also reflected by the numbering system. I mean, if you ever look at classes that are numbered for colleges and all that, you would notice that, of course, if it's one, if it starts with a one, it's the freshman level. So all classes could all grades all years can take it. At two, of course, that is sophomore up. Three would be the 300s would be junior and up, and 400s would be senior only, or shit ass smart people. So the game, the games reflect that. The first one, which would be the freshman year, Spellcasting 101, well, it also reflects the freshman is settling in to the new way of life. He is, getting used to it. 201, which is, of course, the second year, the sophomore year. Well, Ernie's pledging a frat. That's something freshmen don't normally have to do in some cases. In some cases, yes, they do have to do it. So now, Ernie's pledging a frat in that one. 301, his junior year. He's old enough for spring break, hence also the name of the game. The last game, which is, quote, mentioned at the end of the third game, and it should have been made, never got made, would have been 401, senior year, key point being graduation. It was supposed to be the graduation ball, apparently, from what the game said. So, it would reflect that, and of course, it would have the theme. Now, of course, the first game, Sorcerers Get All the Girls, Ernie wants to go to Sorcerer's U. Of course, his evil stepfather, whom his mother married after his father disappeared, is hell bent on making sure he doesn't. So your opening part of Spellcasting 101 is to escape from the ups, the trapped, being locked in the attic and being sent off to another place. But Ernie is crafty. He gets out of there. He heads off to his next class. He escapes in embarrassing ways, having to get into different outfits and sneak out of town. Get a little disgusted that Ernie, of course, that his stepfather, is causing some problems. So, he's obviously not too thrilled about that, but of course, he's got to get away. So he successfully gets away. Yay for Ernie. Isn't that great? He got away. And he gets off to the spellcasting U, where he's residing in the freshman dorm with the advisor of Otto Ticking Clock, who is of advanced age, somewhat senile, but somewhat with it. And so Ernie is just getting used to college life when all of a sudden things are really seeming to change. And if you read the newspaper in the game, you realize, those newspaper boys are a little bit off their nutter. And what it turns out is that a malevolent force has infiltrated the college under the newspaper crew, the college newspaper, and makes off with the sorcerer's appliance, which is not fully functional, as all the regular adapters, or the greater adapters, are the great adapters are all on various islands. So we also find out, as Ernie's mother shows up, that he's part of some prophecy, which is why his stepfather has been keeping a close eye on him. So, of course, Ernie must now travel the islands of the Great Sea of Peloria, going to various islands to save the day. He heads to the island of Lost Souls, where he must rescue everybody from being imprisoned as a lost soul before moving on. Because he'll get something he needs. And I mean, everybody's name reflects something you're coming across. There's an automobile full of males. Carmen. There's a bunch of wolves. There's a bunch of lupines. In a group. Wolfgang. There's a rather effeminate lord down there. A rather effeminate noble. That's Gaylord. It's crazy. You have to figure some of these names out. I mean, Some walkthroughs will tell you every name out there, and others will just say, you know, just do it, leaving you to figure it out. And there's 80 of these that you have to find. 80 names. Some obvious, some not so obvious. I mean, you have to literally figure them out by the name or by what they don't tell you. If they're purposely avoiding calling something like, there is a beam of light, Ray. You traveled to an island of only women. A man on that island would be a great commodity. Problem is, well, they're going to exhaust you. Of course, if you play it in a different mode, it's not like that. I mean, that chapter of the game is the Island of Horny Women. Of course, this would mean that all the women on the, if by that means, would mean how many of the women on that island are related because of the same father. You go to an island where time runs backwards, and apparently they're filming something. So literally, you have to, given what you're told and all that, you have to infer what actions were recently done, what actions you need to do. And what we're getting is a variation of, and when you piece it all together, you've got basically a variation of uh, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You go to the island of the gods, where you have to, solve the issues there. You go to the restaurant at the end of the ocean, where it goes through all the stages of being of restaurantry in about a day. And eventually you make your way to Fort Blackwan, which you get an idea of what you have to do there when you do the simulation in the school. It's sort of preparing you for that. And of course, you get into the fort, you defeat the dragon, get into the fort, rescue the lovely lady who is Lola. Thanks to a portrait there, you can get another helper, and you can get in to where the appliance is. And whom has the appliance and is going to use it to destroy Sorcerer's You but your stepfather, Joey Rottenwood. And apparently there's only one way to stop the appliance at this time. From doing this foul deed. You need about 500 pounds of whale poop. Yep, you have a spell that will conjure a whale. And you will have a spell that will instigate explosive diarrhea. Thus defeating Joey Rottenwood with shit. A theme. A theme that starts in that appears in all of these games. And of course, Joey is defeated, but he gets away. We find out our father's actually alive. He was taken prisoner by Joey Rottenwood and imprisoned for all those years. Ernie is automatically given a passing grade for saving the university. And so we move on then to year two, which is Spellcasting 201, the Sorcerer's Appliance, where you are one, pledging a frat. You're pledging at the frat. uh, Let's see. I felt Tapakega Brew. I think that's it. No, that's one of the other ones. I Delta Psi. Now I'm forgetting the name of the frat. Oh my gosh, I am so bleh on that one. I feel bad about that. Oh yes, he's pledging Who Delta Fart. That's it. Now, of course, Sunday is a day where you don't have to worry about anything. But in typical fashion of fraternities and sororities at the time, they would give you tasks you had to perform to prove you are pledge material. Stuff like disrupting a class at a given time, pulling a prank, and every morning during the week they would pull you down so you can find out your task. And now, of course, if you know this and that once you play it or read a walkthrough, they'll tell you you need to get ready to do these things. So all you have to do is do it, and each day is its own separate event. You also find out that the pledge master, uh, I believe it's Chris Cowpatty, he does not like Ernie, and the current president of the frat is sort of like not even in charge. It doesn't seem like he's in charge. And Ernie is getting assigned tasks that are very difficult to perform, purposely made difficult. Also, Otto Ticking Clock, who is now the president of the school, the dean or president, he has tasked Ernie with helping in discovering the secrets of the sorcerer's appliance, and also telling Ernie that there are greater attachments. So Ernie will have to find all those, which, ironically enough, will coincide with his difficult pledge tasks. And his first pledge task is to put a giant mustache on the statue, except that the statue has been so greased up that it's going to be impossible to climb up to the top of it. So, of course, Ernie must find a way. He must also attend some classes. This is mandatory in the game. Well, mandatory because, one, once the classes are not no longer offered, you can't learn about certain things and get certain things. So you do have to attend some classes until they are, quote, called off. Now, Ernie's first task is, of course, to put that giant mustache on the tree, on the statue. And over the course of this, you should also be getting the stuff you need to advance the game storyline and work on those attachments. Each attachment actually helps you in completing tasks. There's a total of 6. I mean, actually, and on the second day, which you also learn about the instrument, I think it's called the flugelhorn. He must see. The appliance lets him get the upper hand on his tasks. The second one that he has to complete is that he must kidnap the mascot of another frat and take it down, sneak it into the president's place. This has the side effect of causing auto ticking clock to have what appears to be a fatal heart attack. So now he has to. Actually, the appliance can actually help undo this once he gets all the greater attachments on. Of course, Ernie's success each time around riles Chris Cowpatty. It also appears that the new alchemy professor does not like Ernie. Well, Ernie is in a class that's sort of above him. He's very smart. So we move on to the third task, where Ernie must get the whole, cause the whole frat, a whole frat, to literally dive into the pool during their quote keg tapping thing. We also learn that due to Otto being dead, the classes are dismissed for the rest of the week as they get a new president in place. One of which is, of course, this alchemy professor, Bruce Hiddenmower. And so, Ernie must work things out. Now, of course, in the course of Wednesday, we find out that, well, Wednesday night into Thursday, we find out that something happened to two of the prospective replacements. Rather suspicious things. Also, Ernie manages to succeed in getting the whole frat to dive into the water. Thanks to some music playing on his part. Now, with that, Chris Cowpatty is getting more and more pissed off. Of course, you don't know who he's working with until later, but you can suspect it. On the Thursday, he has given Ernie the task to sneak into the party at Barmaid U, a nearby school, and spike the punch, which is guarded by one of the fiercest security teams out there. They're not going to let any guy get near the punch. Ernie is also given a 1-day pass to leave the school grounds. So, Ernie must now head off, get into the campus, get into the party, which he does by learning some plumbing skills, as well as creating a woman. Yeah, the machine is able to, the sorcerer's appliance is able to create life. I mean, you can actually adjust things so, boom, 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 looking good. You got it. All right. So once you get that in there and she spikes the punch for you, having successfully completed your task and getting another attachment, you head down, you get back, and of course, that's another thing. It doesn't matter where you are. Once 9 o'clock comes around, the pledges will grab you, whisk you off to the frat in time to go through the nightly ritual. Chris Cowpatty is surprised that he again pulled off another what should have been impossible lethal task, and then gives the hardest pledge task ever. Ernie is supposed to moon Queen Libido of Balmoral. He won't get a pass to leave campus, so you'll have to figure out your own way. And there is a way to do it, thanks to the appliance. So all you have to do is get off campus, get to the town. Don't want to tempt the bandits. You meet in town, of course, Lola. And of course, you also have at this point, if you have, once you get wealth, she'll pay attention to you. Of course, Ernie successfully pulls off the mooning, gets thrown in jail. If you do things right, you could actually summon Queen Balmoral there, or Queen Libido, then get some time with her. But her wand, it's a bubble wand, and it is the last attachment you need. Last greater attachment you need, which will unlock the appliance's necromancy mode, which means you can bring Otto back from the dead. Of course, just as you get back to the appliance, Chris Cowpatty comes in with Bruce Hiddenmolar, but it's actually not Bruce Hiddenmolar. It's Joey Rottenwood, your evil stepfather. Yes, he's back. So he is going to appear as the only person rivaling him. Tell them as that person that he is stepping out of the running for the presidency, and then as Hiddenmolar, Joey Rottenwood will take control of Spellcasting Sorcerer University and close it down. And of course, you'll be in your end game. You will have to basically now disguise yourself, escape, teleport, all that fun stuff. Of course, you must also cause a wave of constipation. This is important because just as you know, you gotta go to get. You must get Otto's corpse out of there, where it's interred. Revive him, then get back there to stop the evil plan. Of course, Rottenwood is not about to give up, but because of Ernie's constipation spell running out just at that moment, everybody hits the toilet, causing a massive sewage backup, and yeah, Joey gets shit on again. This time it explodes out of the floor. You've spelled spellcasting, so you spell Sorcerer University again. Yay. They'll have to clean up all that shit. Ugh. But hey, you made it to your junior year. You also made it into your fraternity of choice. Who dealt a fart? Now, after that, you head back. We have Spellcasting 301. Joey Rottenwood has not been sighted. It's spring break. That means they go to Fort Naughty Tail. And so, in Fort Naughty, we head off to Fort Naughty Tail on a secondhand magic carpet. And unfortunately, we have a situation. And as typical with the game, you will find, you have to use some stuff that's in the game. You've got directions on how to use and get from Sorcerer U to Fort Naughty Tail. Of course, we have to dump stuff to survive the flight because of the malfunctions. And so we succeed in getting to Fort Naughty Tail. Of course, now Ernie must recover the stuff. We also find out that the game does not have the usual scoring system that the others had. Like, you could always tell you did something right if you got points for it in the game. But this time, you don't get that. Of course, you don't find how scoring is going to be set up until the Who Delta Farts got run into Get a Load of You. They're rivals, jockish rivals from another college. And what we have happen here is as follows. You have your typical face-off between the two frats with a little bit of a challenge. And in comes this new figure, the judge, who by all accounts is a good-looking woman. And so she is going to judge which one is better. The team that gets the most points, of course, wins. And the other team cannot return to Fort Naughty Tail for 5 years. So, there's a lot on the line. So you must compete in a bunch of events, like body surfing, weightlifting, sandcastle building, bullfighting. You have the wet t-shirt contest, where you have to find ladies to represent your frat. we have a volleyball tournament. Wrecking the town. Yeah, that's an event. Making and consuming an alcoholic drink. All these events are crazy and fit with a college theme. Of course, your escapades do not go unnoticed. In fact, you get thrown in jail a couple of times, so you'll have to escape from jail. And you also can come across the the Sorcerer's Guild in Port Nautitail. And they'll assign you some tasks to do to prove you're worthy of joining them. Again, they don't feel some of these gas the tasks they give they don't think are easy to complete. Well, as the course of events plays out, you do succeed. And the last task that you're given is actually probably one of the craziest. You must, I repeat, you must find a bull that is supposed to ransack and destroy Fort Nautitail every so many years. And it's not a mount. You are supposed to bring back the head. That is the deciding event. And it's worth a lot of points. So the team works its way to finding, the farts manage to find their way into some ruins and find the item or find the location. But they weren't alone. The judge was following them. And the judge reveals their identity as Joey Rottenwood. That one comes a little out of left field. I gotta give him that. You see, once you have tamed the beast using magic, Joey Rottenwood was planning to take the bull to Sorcerer University, and once the taming spell wears off, well, the bull will raise havoc and destroy the university. That's his plan. So now you have to defeat him. And so, you also find out that that bull is a baby. And Mama's a lot fiercer. In fact, you do things right, Mama will show up and nom down Joey Rottenwood in one bite. Mama also has a lot of heads. Mama then spits out Joey Rottenwood because she does not like the taste, and in fact, the beast is very allergic to Joey Rottenwood, causing the giant multi-headed bull to turn around, lift its tail, and from Joey we hear, "Oh no, no, not again, not up!" Bull diarrhea. Keeping up the tradition of beating Joey Rottenwood with shit. Which I have to love that. Well, you take the head after the bull leaves with its youngin, and the one head falls off because it died from the blech of the yick of Joey Rottenwood, and is going to find a less Joey Rottenwood location. You take the head back, everybody celebrates. You find out the head will blow up, and of course, everybody scatters as the thing goes kerblooey, wrecking the town to a degree. You also see a woman there, same one you saw in a dream at the beginning of the game. And this was going to be addressed in the fourth game, who this woman was. By the way, you had also come across Lola, who is now attending Barmaid University. And unfortunately, this is actually where the game ended, the series ended. Because they did mention a fourth. It was supposed to be called the Graduation Ball. And obviously, we don't know anything about what would have happened. We could only speculate. I mean, we could speculate that we would defeat that in the fourth game. We'd have another encounter with Joey Roddenwood. We would defeat him with shit again, and there would be much rejoicing. Ernie graduates. Probably would have been very amazing, but sadly, it never got made. Steve got sidetracked by other projects. Maybe there was a lot less than amazing performance on 301. These games are a product of their times. I'm not going to lie on that. They are very much a product of the time they were created. And that's it. They are fun games to play. They fit with the sophomoric humor of the time. I mean, this is Harry Potter meets Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, it's definitely not Animal House. Although with all the way that it ends with shit, you know, wiping out the bad guy, yeah, that could be more Animal House antics. Would I recommend you play it? Yes, of course I recommend you play it. I recommend you get it and play it. While it is a product of its times, you just have to laugh at it now. Laugh at the fact that to get past, to save people's lives, you have to convert them from what they were turned into. And what they were turned into is a hint to their name. You have to laugh at the audacity of a parody of Goldilocks and the Three Bears going backwards. You have to laugh at how you are supposed to solve some of the puzzles involving magic and getting people to jump into a pool and spiking a punch bowl. This game was not. It's a fantasy and it's not even to be taken seriously, but it's so damn funny. The craziness. And once you get things done, I mean, it points out. Like the third game, you gotta return the Sorcerer Guild's shield or seal. And if you think you're looking for a fancy round symbol, no. You're looking for the seal animal. Because that's how these things work. Puns. Change, wording. Double entendre. Double meaning. It's a good series. It unfortunately ended early, leaving several questions unanswered. So I guess it's free to you to imagine how the fourth year would have played out. How would Joey Rottenwood be defeated? And remember, it must contain shit. What task is before Ernie? Will Ernie meet the girl of his dreams? I guess that's up to all our imaginations. But I do recommend this series. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I hope you've enjoyed me going on about the spellcasting series, and please check it out for yourself. And as always, take care and have fun. Bye all.